Okay. You said French is your native tongue in South Africa? I didn't know that.
Hey?
You said French is your native tongue in South
Yes.
Africa?
I'm originally from Cameroon.
Oh, that okay. That makes more sense.
That makes more sense. Yeah, that's why I speak
Yeah.
French. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
we all live. All right. Evening, everyone. So this is Raul and Patrick for our dev meeting of what is today? Monday.
The
Yeah,
6th,
whatever. Yeah, on the 6th for
July
TakeMeAway.
6th.
What, 1 week? No activity on this project.
Did you just say that you had no activity on the project, Ro?
I'm asking how are things on your side? Yes,
Oh, yeah.
we had close to zero activity on the project for a week now.
Yeah, we sure did. Let's see. So
Just gonna share
I've
my
got a
screen.
pull
Yeah,
request in
I see
there,
you've made a couple of pull requests last week.
or just one.
Yes. Yeah,
I just have
this
one in
one.
there.
Yeah, this one here. All right.
Yep.
And I don't think there was actually an issue with this one because it was reviewed. We actually went through it in our last meeting, right? And you just had to add, I think, one test.
I added one test. I've altered a few things since then, some minor things as I've reviewed it, but
Mhm.
for the most part, it's pretty much the same as what we saw before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stuff. All right.
So it should be good to go.
Okay. I'll definitely merge this one in.
Okay.
So just to recap, this one is for the menu status, right? You can set a menu item active or inactive.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Right. I was looking at this Heroku integration to see if maybe I can set it up so that for every pull request we have something to actually run and test on a live system.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah.
So what it does is that it just like we're doing with some of the for you to review it. Yeah.
You kind of broke up there, Roll. I didn't hear that.
No, I was just saying that I was going through the documentation and it seems like what they do is for every pull request you make,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can.
Ah, I see.
Can you hear me or
I
am I
can hear
still
you
breaking
now.
up?
No, I can hear you now.
Okay.
It's difficult. What is a review app? When they say it's a review app, what does that mean?
So you see right now we have this app deployed on. This is the
Right.
one we use for testing, right?
Yep.
Every
Mm-hmm.
time we push to develop, it publishes to this instance of Heroku.
Mm-hmm.
So what the review app will do is for every pull request you make, let's say for instance your pull request, if we
Mm-hmm.
set that up, what will happen is it will create another application just like this one that we
Mm-hmm.
can go and actually go through it and see the features that were implemented and test them. Yeah,
So it'll put it like in a staging area, and we can
exactly.
push it to production. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the idea behind it. But I'll
I
look at that later on.
okay. Great.
E- So there's still the pending pull request about the payments.
Hey guys.
Hey Christian, right
Hi,
on
Christian.
time.
Yeah, the link for the meeting wasn't on Take Me Away channel.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I didn't see it on the notifications channel.
Let me put that there now. I thought I posted it.
Yeah, I thought it's adding it to the TakeMeAway channel by default.
Yeah.
Looks like not.
Cool. So how have you been? You
Oh,
went
good,
away.
thanks. Yeah, I was away for over a week, but back now, so we can get back to business.
Is it my network that's so slow today or what?
I can hear you fine.
I can hear you fine too.
Okay, then I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm gonna quickly switch my network to something else, and then I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay.
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 Hey, Thomas. No sound from you. No, can't hear you.
We can see that.
Hello?
Hello?
Can you all hear me now?
I
Yes.
can hear you. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Hi, Thomas.
Yeah,
Something's wrong with this sound.
yeah.
Yeah, he's having issue with sound apparently. Anyway, Christian, since your last pull request, we didn't get a chance to actually have a discussion.
Yeah. I remember I rushed into it to finish it on time, and apparently nothing happened.
Not
And
that nothing happened.
and also the
Yeah,
same
go
with
ahead.
also the same thing with the payment on the back end. So front end and back
Correct.
end.
The reason pull request button. So we were kind of wondering what's happening in terms of we passed
Uh,
through from.
Raul, you're cutting off very badly.
We kind of want to try to avoid um, posting the user's credit card information, you know, back and forth with or something like just for security reasons. So I think that's why we didn't merge the pull request, because we wanted to get to get that. How did you approach the
Yeah. So uh,
implementers?
I approached it I so once the user enters the credit card in the form is sent directly to Stripe, and Stripe gives back a token, and that token is sent to the server, and that token represents the payment. So the server, once the order is completed, the server can send
Submits the form.
yeah, the server sends the token to Stripe again and confirms the payment.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we are
Okay.
not storing any credit card or anything. It's
All
done
right.
the way it's suggested on the Stripe webpage documentation.
I think if that's the case, we should be good with that. Mm, this is not here. Okay.
But did you discuss about the payment with some pretty since I was away? Raul? Patrick?
I can hear you, Christian.
Yeah,
Can't hear Raul.
Raul. I, I can hear Raul,
Can
but
you guys hear me?
yes,
Now
can
we
you hear
can.
us?
Yes. Okay, cool.
Okay, I was asking that did you guys talk to some pretty since I was away? Because he was working on the payment also.
While we're waiting to come back, Christian, there were no Scrum meetings last week,
Oh,
Monday
really?
or Wednesday. Yeah, Raul was very busy at work, so he got home very late, so nothing really happened last week.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, then for the payment, all I have to add that the client side is not tested. The backend is tested, fully tested, but could use a code review.
Hello?
Hello. Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes. I've been
Okay.
hearing you all this time, but you didn't seem to
Yeah,
Okay.
be able to hear.
Okay, we're
I
not
wanted
hearing
us
you
to.
now. You're cutting off.
Thomas, I don't know if you can hear us.
I can hear you now.
Okay, Raul's having major network problems. We can barely hear him when he speaks. He breaks up a lot.
Okay, I can't see his screen either. Do you see his screen?
Nope, it's not showing up for me either.
Okay. Okay. It's too bad. So how far? I'm sorry for my difficulties. I had to reboot my my computer. So how far did you come? I mean, what did you cover?
So Raul and I talked a little bit about the PR that I've got in place for setting a menu item to active or inactive. And it's
Okay.
been reviewed once. I think he wants to just put out one last call to everybody, see if everybody's okay, and then he'll merge it. And then Christian was updating us on where we are with the payment PR.
Okay.
Christian, you want to summarize that?
Yeah, so before I went away like 10 days ago, I don't remember. I finished the payment. The backend was also tested, fully tested, and there were, I think, on the backend and on the front end there were no code reviews. So I think before merging it, it could use a review from somebody because it's payment, so it's important.
Okay.
So I was also saying that the payment, at least actually the both parts were done the same way the Stripe documentation suggests.
Okay, so could you just talk us through the flow? So what is happening on the front end and what is happening on the back end in terms of communicating with Stripe API and processing card data and stuff like that? What's the deal?
So on the front end, we have a form that's created manually, and that form, once it's filled in with the credit card and details, there's a framework or JavaScript framework from Stripe that's has a method. So once the form is filled in, that method is called and will send the form directly to Stripe.
Okay.
Stripe will store the credit card information and validate everything, and we'll send back a token, and that token is sent to our server. And once the order it's finished, that token from the server it's calling the Stripe, and the Stripe is validating the payment and it's charging it, and giving back the success.
Okay. Okay. That is what I envisioned for this flow. I think it sounds good. So there is never any card information communicated on an open network
not at all.
between our app and the front end application and our back end. Okay, that sounds great.
All right, Kristen, just curious, isn't there a way that we can use that token later to get information about the transaction, including maybe the last 4 digits of the credit card that was used? Not the full, but in case we want to show that to the customer?
I think so. Let me go to Stripe to check it out.
It's probably the case, Patrick. I've accessed the Stripe API with all the tokens, so we can pull every transaction, by either having that token or the customer ID, and then we can get all the tokens and then just pull up a history of all transactions for that particular client if you would like to.
Yeah, I thought I saw that in the documentation. Getting the last 4 digits of the credit card is all we need to verify to the customer that we charged their card. So that sounds. I like the architecture. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So if this is what's happening, I would say and it's. Did you cover this in some tests? Have you stubbed out some API response, or how did you test this?
Well, only the backend is tested, and for the testing there's a Stripe Rails gem.
Yeah, I see this Stripe Ruby mock. Is that it?
Yeah, that one. Okay. Yeah, and not the internet part, the connection.
Okay, cool. Then I'm happy.
So the front end is not tested.
Okay. That's up to Raul. For me, it's okay. Raul, how do you feel about that?
Well, the problem is that I'm not really familiar with Angular testing yet, so that's one of the reasons I didn't look into. And probably starting with payment testing would be too much.
Probably.
Yeah, I get that's a valid point there. Can you hear me now, all?
Yes,
we can hear you fine.
Yep.
Finally. Okay, cool. So I started last week briefly to look at writing some tests for some of the stuff that we had so far. I think I'll maybe take a look at writing some feature tests for the payment this week. Yeah. So maybe then I'm not, again, just like you, Christian, I'm not so good at testing with Angular yet. But yeah, I'll give it a try, and then I'll probably set up a pair programming session with you so that we
Yeah,
can
that
go.
would be great. At least you know those testing patterns that you have to know when you do testing.
Yeah, cool. So again, I was saying that I'll pull that branch and do a manual test and see if it works properly tonight or tomorrow morning. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've also I created another pull request where I was doing, so in the front end there was a suggestion about using environment variables for some of the constant we have.
Yeah, you
So,
struggled with that for a while, didn't you?
well, I actually didn't struggle.
Well, I got a lot of failing semaphore.
Oh, the failing semaphore was because of coveralls. No, not coveralls. Code climate. It didn't manage to push them to code climate. That was a problem because they updated the npm package, and the way to do the pushing was changed, and I didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I got that sorted now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I'll merge that in if there's no, because essentially what happens, Christian, is that in the grind file you just define those blocks here. You put in the variables for development and production, and you can define as many variables as you want. And in the index file you just include this config thingy. When it builds it up, it will figure out which environment variables to use and push it to the config.js.
Okay, great.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll have to update the payment because it's using the Stripe API key.
Okay. So I can then maybe merge this in, and then you can maybe refactor the Stripe things in the payments using that. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
And essentially all you need to do is you just inject this env thingy where you need to use it, and then you can have env dot the name of the variable. That's it.
Oh. Neat.
Okay. All right. So merging this in. Okay.
Cool.
Other than that, let me just check what else we needed to cover there. TakeMeAway. Tell me, Christian, do we receive any confirmation that the payment was processed or that the order was created in the front end already?
Confirmation.
Just a message on the front end saying that the order was placed.
Can't remember. Let me see.
Okay, cool. I'll double check that. So I started working on the test for the front end. The pull request from Patrick, is there any objections to that? Any question? I don't know. Is it good to merge?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Thomas, the only issue you had with it last time was the fact that the test didn't include menu that were inactive. So he added that.
Yeah, I'm happy with this. I think it's okay.
Okay, cool.
I also cleaned up, subsequent to that, I cleaned up a little bit of the, where you create a menu and you add menu items to the menu. Christian, if you remember, you and I were trying to figure out how to modify the labels so they make more sense to the user. So I made some minor refactoring there. And I changed a model method that was checking on whether a particular menu item is present in a current or future menu. I made it more efficient. Other than that, it's the same as what we saw before. It's all been tested, everything passes and all that.
Okay.
Do we
Oh,
need to run some migrations of this merge? Don't see any.
There should be I thought there's a migration in there for the status field for menu item.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Just checking out because sometimes it breaks after we publish because we forget to do these.
well,
Okay.
Raul, you do have access to that Heroku instance, right? So you can run that.
Did you add me to it already? Yeah.
Let me check that. Swiss week. So.
Cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and merge this in. And, okay. Cool.
So Raul, if you look at my screen, this is the confirmation of the payment for the front end.
Okay. So we just need to maybe give it some love a bit. All right, cool. Maybe I can clean that up quickly tomorrow before we merge this pull request. Yeah.
Raul, do you know if you are or is your Heroku email the same one as you use on Slack?
No, it's not.
No? Can you paste that in the chat window?
No, just
all right.
Okay. I think Sambriti will probably have to get the merge conflict sorted before I merge this one in. Okay, cool. Is there anything else that we needed to discuss today?
Raul, I wanted to possibly work on a story that we haven't voted on yet, which is the one that says notify admin when creating conflicting menus. So this is where the admin might be creating a menu, and that menu, in terms of the day, start and end date, conflicts with or overlays another menu that's already been created. So on, say, Wednesday, what's today? Today's Monday. So tomorrow, let's say, he creates a menu today for tomorrow, Tuesday, and that there's already a menu for Tuesday as well. So we have two menus, which is not a big deal until we have conflicting menu items, or the same menu item on two menus.
Okay.
On the server side, we don't strip out items that are repeated across menus that occur in the same day. And I didn't know on the front end if you guys actually strip that out. So if there's two menu items coming across, each in one menu, do you reduce that down to one menu item, or would you go ahead and show two menu items to the customer, two exact menu items?
So at the moment, what's happening in the front end is we just display the menu as they come from the back end. We don't do any manipulation to that.
That's what I thought. So what I'm thinking about here is that the story says the admin would be notified that there's a conflict. You're creating a menu for which, on a day for which there's already a menu. I think rather than notification, maybe we disallow creation of a menu that overlaps any other menu. And that presents these kind of problems from happening and prevents us from having to do things in the front end to rationalize a menu that might have duplicate items. What do you guys think?
Run this through me again.
Well, let's say we've already got a menu for this week. It runs from Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
And today he goes in and he creates another menu for tomorrow. So another menu spanning Tuesday. So now we've got a menu for Tuesday, and we've also got a menu for tomorrow to do the first menu.
So it's overlapping the whole week, yeah.
So we overlap the whole week or a particular day, but also in each menu he includes the same menu item.
Okay. Okay. Now I got you. All right. So yeah.
And
So
we're not stripping that menu item out. We're not stripping out that duplicate menu item anywhere.
No. No. We should tell him that this is what's happening, and so we get a chance to remove that. So we should. Yeah. I would say we should prevent him from saving that menu, and give him a chance to remove that menu item that that is showing up in both menus.
That was my thinking too. So we kind of handle it as a validation. He can see the error. He can fix what he's doing. It's not so much the menu item that he would remove. It's more he wants to make sure that his dates for the menu he's creating don't overlap any other menu, current and future, so that we don't have this problem. Or we could do it the other way, which is you can create a menu that overlaps on dates, but you can't have a menu item in that new menu that's already present in another menu with which it overlaps. If you follow what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather just prevent menus that overlap on any particular day, so this problem goes away.
I don't know if I agree, because I think we spoke about this once, that he could potentially have one weekly menu, like a weekly special or something, and then he has separate menus for each day. So I wouldn't say that I would say that menus can overlap each other. However, they shouldn't include the same menu items. For instance, one weekly special shouldn't be also included. I mean, if you do have a weekly special, for instance, that shouldn't be included in any other menu that is valid for that particular week, for instance.
Yeah, that would work too. That would also allow. I mean, the original idea of the menu category, if you remember, was that he may create a week's worth of lunch menus and a week's worth of breakfast menus.
Yeah.
Of course, he doesn't do breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? But anyway, that was the idea, which would allow menus to overlap. They're just different kinds of menus. All right, so why don't we then filter on if you've added a menu item to a menu that overlaps with another menu that also has the same menu item, we give the error and he can fix that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then this is for only when, say, that menu item appears on the same day, right?
On the same day, yeah.
Cool. Okay.
So I'll adjust my text that I wrote in that story to reflect what we've arrived at here, Raul.
Cool.
I had a different approach to it, but we'll go with this other one.
Okay. Do you want us to vote on this then?
Sure, I guess it makes sense. Vote on that.
Okay. Is there anything else in the icebox that we need to take a look at? That's the only one. Did you get a chance to look at those reports, James? Maybe something we can use.
Yeah, I did, Raul. I didn't see anything that was really worth it. There are some guys who have done stuff with integrating Excel spreadsheets into Rails. There was one in particular that seemed to have traction, but it hasn't been touched, I think, for about 2 years now, and it hasn't been picked up. It looked very promising, actually. You could actually create an Excel spreadsheet with charts and all kinds of fancy things and calculated fields. But that, like I said, hasn't been touched for over 2 years now, and I'm afraid to touch it. In fact, I tried to bring up a spike and make it work, and I had all kinds of issues with gems that it required that were broken. And then I found some place where I could break the 2 gems that were broken, but I'd actually have to copy the source code entirely over to my side because it's not being maintained on GitHub anymore. So I said, that's not the way. And then I looked at probably about a dozen different gems and BI add-ons, business intelligence add-ons, and nothing seemed worth the effort, to be honest.
Did you have a look at the one called Thin Reports?
Thin reports. That sounds familiar. Yeah, I'll have to look. I'll look at that again if you think it's worth it.
Well, I don't know. It's fairly, fresh. I mean, it's been active recently. Oh yes, yeah, you pulled it up already. But I don't know if it's worthwhile. I haven't worked with it myself.
I'll take another look. I did look at that. It looks familiar. To be honest, I think his reporting requirements right now are going to be pretty minimal. In fact, he could probably do most of what he needs with the export to CSV capability that's already part of Active Admin.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll take a look.
They have a Thin Reports examples repository also. I just linked to it. So.
Okay.
Okay. There you go.
I will take a look. I think the key thing for me right now is I realize really got to get a sense of his requirements, especially for reporting to regulatory or other authorities, if there's any such thing. That'd be that would drive what we do for the solution, I think, if there's anything esoteric or difficult there.
Yeah.
But I'll look at thin reports, see if that's just in terms of getting ready for any kind of requirements that we might get.
If we implement anything at all, we could implement something like, a daily sales report or something, just to have something. Reporting is it's like the abyss for developers, because once you start generating different kinds of reports, the clients are never satisfied. They keep asking for more, basically. So.
It's like walking across that ice field and falling into a crevasse that goes.
Exactly. Yeah. I usually say to people, I can, because since we have access to a lot of data, like you can end up asking all sort of very complicated queries. So, how many clients did shop from their office? From a desktop computer at 4 o'clock in the morning on Tuesdays, right? So you can ask a lot of stuff, but you want to keep it simple. A daily sales report, for instance, or a weekly sales report is good enough. In this case, we could like, so how many kilos of potatoes has been used to produce all those menu items that have been sold, basically. So you can dig into all orders and dig into ingredients and shit like that. And you end up setting up very complicated queries. But I say, let's keep it simple. Let's give him something to look at, basically.
So the other thing I'm thinking is he may be running his business on Excel, on spreadsheets right now. And if that's the case, he may just like to have a CSV extract that he can import into Excel and run away with.
I wouldn't count on it, actually, because he doesn't strike me as too technically savvy at all. So I don't think he does spreadsheet imports at this particular moment.
Got it.
I would say, really, from our perspective, if we just aggregate some sort of report, like a sales report or something, you just produce one PDF for him to print out or save someplace. I think that's enough at this stage, at least.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess depending on when we're going to next talk to him, we might want to start something right now for sales reporting, or hold off until we talk to him, understand his requirements better. So,
Raoul, what do you feel? Did you speak to him about reporting before?
We were supposed to discuss that on the next client meeting with him to kind of get a feel of what type of report he would need. So, yeah, what I was thinking is maybe we finish off the payments, and then I can schedule a meeting with him to showcase the payment and all the features we have so far, and then get a chance to talk to him about the reports. And, let's see what we can implement from that.
Okay.
So, but I guess since we probably gonna finalize everything with the payment, I should be able to, I don't know, see if I can squeeze in a meeting sometime, maybe Thursday evening or something like that. I don't know. But yeah,
Okay.
we'll see. Okay. All right, so let's just vote on this story, and then we can wrap it up for today.
Okay.
Cool.
Yep.
So everyone is cool with the story. Shall we go ahead and vote?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So on the count of 3, we all submit. So 1, 2, 3, submit.
Oh, shoot.
Maybe you know something I don't know.
Perhaps I do. Perhaps I'm just tired. Perhaps I'm just tired. I don't know. So, yeah, well, the way I see it, I gave it a 3 because you have to, first of all, it deals with active admin, so it's not easy to develop any features for active admin outside of the ordinary. Mm-hmm. So you have to, and also it's a validation. So it's a fairly complex validations because you have to go in and check for instances in that particular week, to see if there are conflicting menu items and stuff. So and so usually I say that it's a fairly complicated story if there are many tests involved. In this particular case, I see that we have problem testing everything that has to deal with active admin. So that's why I felt this is fairly complicated, and so you can test it on the unit level potentially, but it's kind of hard to do some integration testing, and perhaps we can test this from the cucumber perspective, from behavior level. Yeah. But I just generally find it. Everything that has to do with active admin at this point, I find rather difficult, basically. So that's why I gave it a 3. It's not a very complicated story per se, but since it involves active admin, I find it rather hard.
Yeah, I would agree with you overall, but I kind of struggle with the same issues when I did the add a status item to a menu item.
Mm-hmm.
Add status field was kind of the same set of problems. So I feel pretty comfortable that it's kind of more like a 2 at this point.
Well, then I rely on your expertise, and I backed it back down and put it down as a 2. And
famous last words. I'll probably eat my words later, but we'll see.
Exactly, you'll be hitting the dust, but no problem. I bow for the majority and to your expertise, of course.
Okay. Sounds good.
Give it a 2, and I'm assigning it to Patrick.
Cool.
Very good.
All right, Christian, I'll check out with you tomorrow for the front end stuff, and we'll see what we can get.
Sure, I'll be around.
Okay. Cool. There's nothing else with them for today. Okay. Thank you guys for joining us. Yeah, we'll speak with you on Slack. Next meeting.
Absolutely.
Take care, guys. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Salam.
Thanks all. Bye.